brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Good morning. Welcome to Mornings at the Cabin. It's Wheeler with you on your Wednesday morning. Scott is outside the room right now talking with AJ. I don't know what they're talking about, but it sounds like I might be fired. I don't know. I'm part owner, but I think they can do that. I think they have some sort of voting rights for that. I also have with me special guest once again, Des Lorraine. What up, man?
Good morning, Jesse. How you doing today?
Good, buddy. Good.
Thank you again for the early morning pickup, dude. I got to say, thank you so much.
No worries, man. It's just, it's just my sleep and my mental health. It's all good. All good.
Tiny sacrifices.
That's right. Tiny sacrifices that lead to just, complete meltdowns in your late 30s, which I'm already in. So we're in the middle of meltdown number one, I think.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's a slow roll. Slow descent into just complete and utter.
It really is. It's not like you wake up one day and you're just there.
Yeah, right?
This is something you can't track back.
It slowly chops away at you, right? And then maybe you can pinpoint it later on. Like, when I was 5, my dog bit me. So that's probably where it all started. That's a depressing way to start the morning show.
We're going to get, look, phones are lighting up now.
That's right, they're lighting up.
What
lighting up.
What breed was it? What breed was it?
I can't do it. Can't do it. Scott's going to be in here in a second. Mornings at the Cabin. Just hanging out, man. Just hanging out on a Wednesday morning. Going to talk about some things. We're going to talk about that airline merger for one. And we're going to talk about Momo, because Momo's coming for everybody. We don't usually do the trending stuff, but this one is really... It's really cheesing me off, man.
My roommate's friend's grandma said that this happened to 3 people in the north, okay? 3 people are doing the Momo challenge already.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. I knew that, my grandmother read a news story from Russia that said blah, blah, blah. And it's like, all right, man, that sounds like a reliable source.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Wheeler, Lecter, and Des with you on your, what is it? Wednesday. You guys remember playing Bloody Mary as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go into the bathroom, you say Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, you turn around 3 times, you turn off the lights, and apparently she appears behind you. It actually happened to me.
What?
That's right. Friends of mine said it happened to them.
They came out of that bathroom
so
scared.
It's got to be true.
They came out of that bathroom scared.
They were scared. And then I asked them about Bloody Mary, and they got scared. So it's real.
So, this happened just the other day?
This was just the other day.
Oh. Yeah.
It was grade 3.
This was on the way here, I thought, right?
That's right. We were doing it in the rearview mirror of my truck. And there she was. Turned out it was just someone that was sleeping in the bed of my truck.
This is lock your truck doors.
That's right. Lock your truck doors. But the reason I ask is because the latest kind of internet viral scare thing is Momo.
Ah, yes.
And apparently, parents are very concerned about the spread of Momo and
measles or Momo?
Momo, measles. That's what we're calling measles now, because we don't want to say that we have measles in the NWT. We're like, there's a little bit of Momo going around.
Yeah. We have to slang everything. Right?
That's right. Get your shots against Momo, because it softens it a bit. Right? Measles sounds so.
That word's a bit sensitive.
Destructive.
It's 2019.
Don't say measles. Say Momo.
Say Momo.
So in recent years, social media have been encountering all sorts of these challenges, right? Like the Tide Pod eating challenge or whatever.
Right. Cinnamon challenges.
Cinnamon challenge. Yeah, that was one of the first ones.
Yeah.
And that one's fairly innocent because it's just...
I tried that
But can't you get, isn't there a way, can't you get the cinnamon in your airways and doctors saying don't do that? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's not
yes,
safe.
Wheeler here's I've done it so many times.
It didn't really actually, that's one of those things where it's like, it happened to a friend of mine and she died. It was her lungs exploded.
Could happen.
Could happen. I mean, yes, it could happen, but it's one of those things that takes that takes hold on social media and just kind of spreads like wildfire.
And that's where we are.
And that's where we are right now. Yeah. And we are with this Momo thing. So apparently this Momo thing it's been it's popping up in children's videos, and it's telling kids all these challenges disappear for 72 hours or even up to hurt yourself.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So there are all these kind of lurid tales of kids that are hurting themselves or whatever. And it's been floating around since last year.
Yeah.
And the image is something quite terrifying. It's it's a statue from a special effects company, I think in Japan. Yes, created by a Japanese special effects company. It looks terrifying. It looks like one of the creatures out of the
Beetlejuice.
Grudge.
It's Beetlejuice.
Or Beetlejuice.
When they scratch their
That's
face.
right. That's right. It looks like
it
looks like Gina Davis and Beetlejuice.
Right.
That's right. So it's spreading around, and it's in the last few days has caught just crazy fire. Everybody's sharing it. News media organizations are sharing it, and they're all sharing the same image. That's probably not even related to whatever. It's just a kid crying. It's a still of a kid crying. He's like, I asked my child about Momo, and he burst into tears. And it's okay, anecdotal evidence is one of the weakest forms of evidence.
Exactly.
I'm currently in an argument on CJ92's Facebook page because I posted the Snopes article about how much of a threat is the Momo challenge actually.
Right.
And according to this article, it's not. It's like this is like the reason I brought up Bloody Mary is that they bring up Bloody Mary. That like this is the internet version of Bloody Mary.
Right.
Like all kids know about Bloody Mary, and it was scary because you like turned out the lights, and you ran out of the bathroom, and like I swear I saw her. And now we're all adults, and we're all still in grade 3 because we believe everything we read on the internet. And then when you get into an argument about it, you're like, oh well, here's a Snopes article that says that this is kind of the thing, and people are like, oh, you believe Snopes? I'm like, I'm sorry, you believe like CJ92
and that's
telling
it.
you that like don't go on the internet because a Japanese monster will get you? I don't get it.
See, this is where
so
we are.
mad the microphone.
I threw the marker on the board and it turned off.
He's just telling you.
Even the marker wants
he's
me to
riled
shut up.
up here.
I
think this shows that we've failed as parents raising this next generation in that we never showed our kids Bloody Mary.
That's right. That's right.
Bloody Mary was more than enough.
That's right.
Kick the can was more than enough.
Rite of
Marbles were more than enough.
Yeah.
We don't need all of these TikToks and all these Musical.lys and apps on the phone.
That's right.
No, we're going too far away here.
That's right. We need to get these kids back in the bathroom, turn off the lights.
That's it.
And scare the hell out of them.
Just scare one kid. If one parent brought one kid in one grade into the bathroom and did a really good job with the wife even behind the shower of just scaring their kid.
That's right.
Try not to swear here because I'm getting a little animated. Sorry. But I'm telling you, it could happen. One kid in one class. And that thing spreads. What is it about the NWT and wildfire spreading that, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, scare a child and they'll scare themselves. Teach a child to scare themselves and they'll scare themselves for the rest of their life.
Thank you.
That's right.
Very nice.
That's
very
right.
nice analogy. What's the deal? What's the appeal of a challenge, though, where there's no actual reward at the end? It's
the
just
internet.
the next challenge.
You get points. I don't know.
They get points.
I don't know if you get points. Like things
if you get points,
things like
then
Reddit, you get points, right?
Yeah.
You get karma. It's called points.
Yeah.
So like things like that, you get points for. So
what does Momo do for you?
Nothing.
Yeah,
nothing. So I mean,
why do you care about Momo?
Here's the thing. I understand. I mean, I don't have kids, so I'll never understand.
That's right.
You'll never understand because you don't have kids.
Right.
Like because having kids precludes you from believing nonsense.
Because you have to experience something to have an opinion about it.
Absolutely. But I mean, kids. Kids is a pretty. That's a pretty good one, I imagine. but I mean, I can understand why parents are concerned. Like, obviously, they don't want something floating around that's going to make kids hurt themselves. I understand why they're concerned. Yeah. Take 5 minutes to read about it. Take 5 minutes to read about it. Realize that there's actually little to no evidence that any child has ever hurt themselves in connection with this thing.
But they could.
Oh, but they could.
This just in, one kid hurt themselves. Now it's the real thing. So.
Oh well, this just in on my Facebook feed. I'm talking about actually my friends' kids who said they were terrified of it. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I guess it's true then.
Yeah.
Because you just said on the internet that your friends' kids are scared.
Yeah. Well, I'm scared.
I don't know what to do with that.
Let's just go rush the kid and put a camera in his face.
Yeah.
I like turtles.
Who's Momo?
Right? There you go.
Tell us about Momo.
Can that be the investigative journalism this afternoon? Take the day off work. I'll come with you. Let's go to the schools.
There you go.
Let's find out who is Momo.
That's right.
Are you scared of Momo?
Well,
are you scared of Momo?
Here's the thing. Parents are going to be asking their kids about Momo, apparently, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to ask them about it, and they cry. I don't know what's going on. But they're going to be asking their kids about it. They're going to be spreading around on social media. Everybody watch out for this. And now now it's everywhere.
Are they like, or
it was nowhere before, and now it's everywhere because parents are like, a kid hurt themselves. No, they didn't.
Or the kids are like, Momo was like 3 years ago.
That's so
right?
3 years ago.
And that's it. They're like, we're scared of this now.
And
you might as well bring up Slender Man. You know what I mean?
We're actually scared of World War III now, Mom.
Right?
So
real world
right?
fears.
Well,
we're scared of
the
free
thing.
market. You know,
That's the thing. Let's be concerned about real things.
Yeah.
This is silliness, and I know I sound like a jerk. I know I don't have kids, and I should just shut my mouth. I'm not gonna. This is nonsense.
It's perfectly crafted, though. Somebody somewhere
It's
spent
perfectly crafted.
very
That's
good
exactly
time.
right.
And they said, you know what's going to happen? It's just a bunch of dudes on the coolest radio station in the North. They're going to be talking about this on Wednesday morning because we've done this.
Yeah.
Let's make this picture that we see that's very creepy. Let's attach some sort of pseudo-realism to it, something that people are already scared of, like the Bloody Mary, like phantoms,
That's
like
right.
the boogeyman. And Wheeler will go off on us and turn off microphones.
Every once in a while,
You make people famous.
That's right.
That's what you do.
I know, and now I'm spreading it. Now I'm guilty of spreading this Momo nonsense.
I love how as soon as he's realized this, his whole demeanor's just changed. Anyway, now back next on Cabin in the Morning.
Well, I mean,
you can't be fueling that fire, man.
Well, it's
You're an influencer.
It's so odd, the disconnect for people. They don't believe accredited news sites, but they believe a still frame photo that some parent shared with them and said, "My kid is scared."
Are we still talking about the measles here? Are we talking about vaccines now? What are we?
No, don't call it measles. Call it Momo.
Right, the
That's
Momo.
right. And from now on, we'll call HIV hugging disease.
I think I actually got the Momo, guys.
Is that not? No, that's probably too far. That's probably too far.
Wow. Remember when they said, Jesse, you're a funny guy, but just that one last line, don't say that last line.
Yeah, that's right. I shouldn't. I apologize. I take it all back. Momo is coming for your children. Everybody lock your doors.
A morning show without a podcast is like a poorly crafted simile. It just doesn't make sense. This is the Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
This kind of got shared by a friend of the show, Kim Galbransing, yesterday. It is a Japanese comedian, talking about why Japanese people go to Yellowknife. And I think, like, anytime, and Des, you're probably in on this as well, like, anytime, like, Inuvik or Yellowknife are mentioned in, like, national kind of things, or they pop up on YouTube or whatever, even though YouTube can be shared by literally anybody, it's always kind of like, oh, we need to check this out.
Yep.
I want to see what other people are saying about our city.
Oh, absolutely.
And most of the time it's ignorant and stupid.
Misrepresented.
That's right, misrepresented. But this one, it's hilarious. Her name is Yumi Nagashima, and she talks about why Japanese people go to Yellowknife, and basically, it just kind of tells the story that they come up here to make babies under the Northern Lights because of a myth.
That's right.
Right?
Fertility myth
That they want their babies to be like Princess Aurora. So she says.
Yes.
And then she goes on to say that she was conceived in Whitehorse, and so she doesn't believe in that. She travels all over the world. And only wakes up when there's an arranged marriage that's financially viable for her. That sounds like Whitehorse.
Yeah, the routine about the Northern Lights.
Yukon.
When I saw it, I mean, it's a hilarious bit.
It is,
and when I saw it, there was part of me that was like, you know what? I'm glad she said it. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear it from an actual Japanese person, because we never quite knew if that whole, conceiving under the Northern Lights, if that was just a myth that,
or held true by everybody there. Like it was like a cultural thing.
Exactly, and it's so kind of like, if it's not true, it's kind of ridiculous.
And that's sort of what I got from it too.
I don't know if I want to ask about this, or so there's a bit of hesitation and tiptoeing around that cultural side of it. But now that she said it, it's out there. I'm like, okay, this is a real thing now.
It is
a real myth, I suppose.
But don't tell that to the parents of a Japanese girl named Aurora.
That's right.
Yes.
Don't.
No. Your child
be very
is
upset.
Average.
Trip ruined.
That's right. Disowned. Disowned.
I have never made love under the Northern Lights. Des, go.
Are you sure, Scott?
Well, not
probably
directly
have.
under them. I mean,
You just don't know.
they're above my roof. I mean, there's probably a day where I've
Have you ever done it while whistled at them? Then you're doubling down.
No, you're doubling down. Because
then you're doubling down.
Because then the Northern Lights are going to steal your unconceived baby's soul.
There we go.
That's right.
That's right.
Don't whistle at them Northern Lights, man. They will come down and grab you.
And that's not a myth. That is not
fact.
That happened to a cousin of mine.
That's right.
In Inuvik.
That's right. My friends' kids
Totally.
are scared. When you mention the Northern Lights, they just start crying.
Well, what happened was that was initially, and this is sort of where these Northern tales come from.
Yes.
Is they were all cautionary tales. They were all cautionary
history.
tales to keep you going and keep you safe.
Yeah.
So it's like, wear your hat.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna, if you're unprotected, that's one of the versions of it.
Yes.
Is if your hat is, if you're cold, if you're not wearing your hat, then they're gonna come get you.
That's right.
Or if you whistle at them, then they'll come get you. I don't know
What's the whistling one?
I have no idea where
I
that
think it's just
comes from.
supposed to bring them closer.
Don't let.
Well, maybe
but it's supposed to. But I mean, why not whistling at them?
Maybe it's like a pride thing. Maybe it's like a thing about like.
But it has something to do with the ancestors in the sky or something like that?
I don't think. Maybe it could. Call in the cabin. Here we go. Look, the phones are lighting up.
Yeah, that's right. Call the rant line and tell us how we are screwing up oral history.
Maybe it's a pure of heart thing.
All right.
Where if you whistle,
I love how we both turn to each other. As soon as he says that, we turn our chairs to each other.
All right.
If you're pure of heart, and you whistle at the Aurora Borealis, it will just come closer.
They will tear your face off.
But if you're a bad person,
they
will tear your face off.
That's right. They'll tear your face off.
You'll get riches
or maybe
if you're
it's the other way around, and the Aurora Borealis are just pure evil.
That's right.
Who knows?
That could be it.
That could very well be it. I did whistle at the Northern Lights when I was a kid, and that's why I currently have no soul.
Or face.
Yeah, I wasn't. Or face.
It
doesn't kill you when your soul's ripped out. It just makes you better.
You're just dead inside.
That's right. And because I don't have kids, that means I don't have a brain or a heart. So, obviously.
And the nerve left long ago.
No, the nerve's still here.
Okay, sorry, courage.
The nerve. That's why I got it tattooed on my arm. because I needed a
right.
reminder.
That's right. Fair enough.
Yeah. You know what would have been better? Just like the cowardly lion on my shoulder. That reminds me, be courageous.
Oh, right.
And that's it.
Courageous.
Like,
All right. Yeah.
Video game tattoos. So I've got the Triforce. I don't know how many of you guys are
That's right.
familiar with
Yeah.
Zelda, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's courage, wisdom,
Yes.
and
Zelda.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Courage, knowledge, and wisdom are
Yeah.
the three. So I've got the power.
Yeah.
Power because I don't have any wisdom or courage.
That's right.
That's it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
That's it.
Are you going to
Those
play
are learned skills.
that tape there?
Which tape?
The comedian? You got
Oh,
it
should I
up?
play it?
Why not?
You want me to play it?
In case anyone
She
hasn't
doesn't
heard
swear
it
in
yet.
it, does she?
No, she doesn't.
That's right.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, we'll play it again.
Safe for radio.
Safe for radio.
I
If it's
hope
not,
so.
we apologize.
Yeah, if not, all right.
This
I
is
was just in Yellowknife. Have you ever been there? No. It's the capital of Northern Lights. Northern Lights are so rare and beautiful, like a Japanese female comedian. And lots of Japanese tourists go there to see the spectacle in the sky, because what all we see in Tokyo skies are tall buildings, air pollution, and 9 a.m. to midnight office workers' despair.
That's my favorite.
That's sad.
And lots of Japanese tourists
real.
go to make babies under the northern lights because of a fertility myth. They believe their babies will be like Princess Aurora from Sleeping Beauty. Innocent, kind, and doesn't wake up till a financially lucrative marriage is arranged. But then my parents accidentally conceived me in Whitehorse, which makes me the opposite. I am against marriage. I travel all over the world doing comedy, and I take a dominant role in a relationship. Thank you. My white boyfriend is whipped. Like a broken stallion. As I am a white horse master.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Des, you are a duly elected official of the town of Inuvik. How do you feel about this Northern Airline merger? Not mentioning the fact that you are a shareholder.
I don't think this is going to be good for anybody.
Yeah.
I think they've gone down this road before where they
Yeah.
tried the code sharing, and it's healthy for competition.
Tell everybody. Sorry, but before you continue,
Right.
tell everybody the code sharing because I don't get it.
Yeah. So honestly, neither do I. Apparently, First Air and Canadian North took this upon themselves years ago. Correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah, 2015.
Please.
Yep.
Right. And so they said that we're not going to be in direct competition with each other, and the flights are interchangeable.
Yeah.
So that in some way, if you book your flight with us, you might find yourself on a First Air flight.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah.
And
Okay,
so
that makes
like we're
sense. Yeah.
using both they're sharing resources. I think
Yes.
was what it was.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that meant that you might get bumped off your plane in Yellowknife, or you might have to
Yeah,
jump
yeah.
on.
Like
you
a
might fly
a
down
pseudo
Canadian.
merger.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Like a soft merger, if
Yeah,
there
yeah.
was. If there's even such a thing, you know.
Oh, there is.
Get the business.
There is.
All right, well, I'm good. Wow, I just about said another word that.
All right, just keep going.
Yeah, anyways. So the Inuvialut own Canadian North.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's where we're at right now is, and this is funny because a little bit of a story about it. Before they even announced the merger was happening.
Yep.
They literally took. Can you put Momo away here? I got Momo. I'm looking at Momo here on the left here, and that's you can't see this.
so
I was
Yeah.
testing your focus.
There we go. And I failed.
All right,
So-
we'll get rid of Momo.
So we're at the 42 directors meeting for the IRC. So this is like the controlling heads of the Inuvialut Regional Corporation.
Yeah.
And on every single 42 seats, there's a new baseball cap and a new toque, and it's the First Air black and red, but it just has Canadian North on it. And I'm like, well, so that's how they're rolling it out, right?
Yeah.
They're just going to black and red. Apparently, no airline has done it before, but they're going to do it now.
Here's some swag and a 30% hike in your airfare.
But that's it.
Yeah.
So I took a picture of it and I said, well, this is, my legions of social media followers are going to want to see this because it's cool, right?
Yeah.
So I share it. And next thing you know, I'm seeing that I'm getting friend requests from people I didn't know, and people are sharing that I didn't know. It's getting shared more than a normal post of mine would.
Yeah.
So I decided to investigate these shares. And I click on one of them, and they're all Canadian North employees.
Ah.
And I'm like, wait a second here. Did I just do something I shouldn't have done?
Yeah.
And then somebody says, one of my friends, she's a stewardess or a flight attendant. 2019 flight attendant.
Oh, wow.
Oh, geez.
Hashtag it's 1965.
Phones are blowing up again here. 1965 again. Mad Men.
This guy off the air.
I'm telling you, get this guy off the air here. So she says, oh, yeah, look what Des shared.
Yeah.
And then somebody comments, well, I don't know who this Des is, but don't you think that a corporate unveiling would have come in a different way? And as soon as I read that comment, I realized that I might have broken the news on the new logo.
Oh.
So I deleted my post.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, well, why would you give it to 42 people then?
Yeah.
Who
That's
are,
exactly right.
so they were on the table. There wasn't an embargoed secret envelope that said top secret, do not open. But honestly, I think everybody's going to lose because we're already paying so much. And I travel for wrestling all the time. WrestleMania's coming up in April. Just a little plug.
That's right.
And
a free plug for WrestleMania.
They need
there
it.
you go.
They get the mornings at the cabin bump.
Exactly, right? Exactly. Not the government this time, but it's WrestleMania. So
they do pay our bills, and we have to say whatever they want us to say.
Exactly. But this is astronomical because I'm paying so much just to get to Edmonton.
Yeah.
And I'm paying less than half of that to get to anywhere else in the continent.
Yeah.
Beyond that. So I think this is just really hurting the people that it should be helping, and that's us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what they could do is put it lower on southern rates.
Yeah, and then
southern returns,
and then bump it into Edmonton.
And then just even the returns coming from Inuvik and from Yellowknife.
Yeah.
Make those low. Make those very low.
Yeah.
But then all the northern flights, and sure.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're making a return flight from Edmonton or from New York, then jack it up. Because that's not me. I'm not affected.
That's fair.
That's how I live my life.
Well, that's what I say. Because the rates are going up, but it's probably not going to affect Yellowknife to Edmonton flights. And I'm like, well, I rarely fly north. It's not going to affect me at all.
All right, so now we're inviting Jesse Wheeler to come to Inuvik.
That's right. I want to go.
Yeah.
I want to go all over the place. I haven't been far north in a while. A long time.
Yeah.
Last time I was Rankin Inlet. That was about 10 years ago.
That was like your tour in your 20s there when you were ripping it up. And
I was just ripping it up, buddy. I don't even think I'm allowed there anymore.
No, there's still posters up, I think. Eh?
That's right.
Yeah, Crime Stoppers there.
Yeah, that's right.
All those unsolved paternity suits here.
Oh, right.
We're starting to get a little sliding down.
That's right. We are sliding down.
The music comes up again. I get a stern talking to.
I have many children across this great nation.
He made 3 hours. 3 hours and we have to cut him off.
The good news about this, about all these rates going up, is that your lowest return airfare for your income taxes next year is going to be higher. So you're going to be able to write off more.
Hey.
So are we supposed to be claiming airfare on our taxes?
Yes.
Talk to your tax professional.
That's
Dear
right.
Samuel Hearn Secondary School in Inuvik.
There we go.
Things you should be teaching kids. Taxes and budgeting.
Is it called Samuel Hearn Secondary School?
It used to be Samuel Hearn Secondary School.
Yeah.
And
When
now
you
it's
went
East 3. Yeah, when I went there.
And now what is it?
It's the East 3 Secondary School.
That does not sound culturally relevant.
East 3?
Yeah.
See, now this is where a little bit of history comes in. Now this is the...
Left turn.
Give me some music. Give me a little bit. Give me a stinger of music here.
A stinger?
Inuvik Education with Des Loreen.
That's right. I don't have any stinger.
So here we go. So the government, it used to be a clavic was the... There we go. Nice. I thought he was farting for a second. Can I say farting on
Yeah,
Wednesday
you can say
morning?
farting.
Okay, I can say farting.
I said it 4 times.
Say fluffing.
Nice. Fluffing. There we go. Momo. Just have a little Momo.
All right.
So before Inuvik was made, the government needed a place in that region to settle. And the Klavik was flooding all the time, so they needed a new spot for the community. And they went off and they chose these areas, and they called, there was 3 different locations they could have used, or 4.
Yeah.
And they were East 1, East 2, East 3, and East 4, and go on. So East 3 was the spot to use, and that's what they chose it until the actual name was chosen. So that's why they look back and they're like, well, can we use it in our history? Well, Inuvialuit it's on the Gwich'in territory.
Yes.
And it's a shared community between the Gwich'in and Inuvialuit and non-Aboriginals. So you can't really use it as a race thing, right? As a cultural thing like that. So they said, well, let's just call it this is East 3.
Yeah.
Boom. And so you look at there was a drama program, the theater program that did that too.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of history there.
Yeah. So there's some
There's a history there too.
Yeah.
For as much history and culture as a government-made town could have. Anyway. that didn't have running water for the first 20 years.
Tons. Plebiscites. Elections.
Filibuster.
Senate reform committees. I have no idea what I'm talking about. None whatsoever. But so
there's no difference between us and the Legislative Assembly then.
This is there you go. Wow.
Making friends everywhere
They
here.
pay our bills. I'm not allowed to say that.
He's like, Des is walking home after this.
That's right.
I will be hitting downtown subway right after here. So come find me.
That's a cool story, man. Thank you for sharing that. That is the first time I heard Inuvik was split up into districts like Hunger Games. And
well, that was it.
Yeah.
And it was literally, and this will definitely get the phone lines going. It wasn't a race thing; it was a
Once
culture
again,
thing, right?
we have no phone.
Okay. Well, who's calling then? What's going on here?
That's my mom.
Yeah, there we go. Who is this awful man with you, Jesse? Who is this awful man? So Inuvik was literally split east and west side. The government officials stayed on the east side, and they literally got plumbing before the west side did.
Yeah.
For like, I think it was like, come on, somebody correct me here who's listening.
West
I think
side.
It was 10, that's what it became.
Yeah.
The West End kids. Like, so
okay.
we were pooping in honey buckets.
Yeah.
I can say pooping on Wednesday morning.
You just did twice.
There we go, twice. And pooping again. There we
There you
go.
go.
So honey buckets. Anyways.
We got the honey buckets.
Yeah, so it's definitely created like there was a snob hill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there was and that's what it was. It was
Where they had
it
water.
was segregated.
Yeah.
So they had water, because they had running water.
That's right.
And
Upper Inuvik
and now it's not a
lower
race.
That's right.
And that's what it is. And so it's almost like watching that show, the movie District 9.
Yeah.
In the sense that there's like this technology and then the rest of it just kind of slums. Not that I saw 2x4s and plywood holding up houses.
That's right.
We're not in like I can't say.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm just not.
we took a sharp left about 4 minutes ago.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Wheeler Lecter and Des with you on your Wednesday morning. Des, you are in the middle of like a self-imposed weight loss challenge, a little healthy eating challenge. Ollie and I were just kind of in one, and it went all right, but he was gone for the last third of it, and I was injured for part of it and too busy at part of it as well. So
Is that still technically going on? Or
no,
you guys
it was
actually
the
done?
week's it's done now.
Oh, okay,
but we're gonna go.
You're just throwing in the towel.
No,
too
we're gonna go to
early.
level 2. We're gonna go to level 2. We're gonna bring it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, that's right. So we're gonna keep doing that. And the biggest obstacle for me anyway, it's not going there and getting it done.
Right.
Doing the workout is like it hurts and it sucks sometimes. But I mean, your body hurting is just your body's way of telling you that you're pushing boundaries.
That's right.
That's right. Challenging yourself.
No pain, no gain.
That's
Yeah.
right. Unless it's like actual pain.
Shred
then
to the
stop.
max.
Then
Yeah,
stop.
exactly.
Like if it's just burning, like you're good. But if you feel a sharp pain in your abdomen,
For
stop.
context, he's talking about working out for people.
That's
who
right.
just
I'm
tuned
not
in.
talking about
The burning and the
That's
abdomen.
the burning in the abdomen, the sour stomach. So we're gonna keep going on that, but you are in the middle of a self-imposed one, which is admittedly hard. That's really tough.
It is super tough. But it is something, like I said, I'm 36 years old. I was pushing like 310 pounds.
No.
I was getting big, and I noticed that I was just getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing anything to fix it other than just sitting at home eating a family-sized bag of chips, 6-pack of Coke, and a couple chocolate bars a night. Literally, I was spending like $20-something a night. Like I've been noticing the money uptake now too,
Yeah,
which
no
I'm spending
kidding.
on, like other habits is getting spent on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so-
replica wrestling belts.
That's pretty much exactly
Yeah,
it. Yeah, and WrestleMania tickets.
Yes.
So I told myself it was a couple of years ago. It was just before New Year's.
Yeah.
You know how like the New Year's resolutions come along,
Yep.
and everybody says, "I'm going to change this and do this."
Yeah.
It was the 26th of December. I think it was like Boxing Day.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Like I'm not going to wait till why? Because people do that, right? They'll say, "Oh, come New Year's Day, I'm going to stop doing this, so I better do all that for this week." And then
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought to myself, I said, no, like I'm not going to even go buy one more pop.
Yeah.
And this was 2 years ago. I said, I'm just going to stop. Like, what if I just stopped? It's a mind over matter thing. What if I just didn't do these things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying, hey, Des, eat these and we'll give you stuff or whatever. No, there's no incentive. Right?
The pop wasn't talking to you?
No, it did actually. Funny story. And this is how bad my pop.
drink me.
This is how bad it got. I had half a Coke left.
Yeah.
And it was my last pop of the night, and there was no wheels, no way to get to the store for another one. I contemplated watering it down.
Wow.
I contemplated watering it down to make it last longer. And that's when I knew that I had to look inside myself. I had to go on my
Wow.
spiritual journey.
You were-
Yeah.
Talk to the coyote in the sky.
Yeah.
And why am I here? Why am I here? And so that's what I did. I made it 7 weeks. I made 7 weeks 2 years ago.
Wow.
7 weeks, no pop, no. And when I say no junk food, I was eating takeout. But I'm saying no chips, no chocolate bars, no candy.
Right.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
nibs.
Hey, you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
start
You gotta
somewhere,
eat
right?
it.
Yeah. Have you ever seen nibs? Like, have you ever
Yeah.
thought about a nib? And it's just like this long chemical that they just chop up and then you love
Right.
it because
Yeah,
it
that's
tastes good, right?
It's just like a licorice rope. It's like
right, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Same thing, yeah, with vines, yeah. And so I was thinking, this is just trash. So I went 7 weeks without it in my body, and I lost 35 pounds.
Wow.
I
Jeez.
didn't even exercise. That was the thing, and that's what I told myself this time. Is I said, okay, WrestleMania is coming up 7th of April. Of
Yeah.
course, second time the show. I've mentioned that.
Very good. Very good.
And
Keep
I'm
those
a
mentions up.
due diligence.
You got to get those plugs in.
That's right.
it. That's it. You know, we're gonna get sponsors here. WWE. It's happening. And
Mornings at the Cabin brought to you by John Cena. You can't see him.
exactly. If you can't see us either, Faces
That's
for
right.
Radio.
That's right.
Faces for Radio. And I told myself, I said, look, this is 2 months away. Realistically, I can go 2 months without having a pop. And I
Yeah.
know what it did to me last time, the 2 months.
Yeah.
So I said, let's do it. Let's try it. And I didn't even, it was one of those things where I said, this isn't going to be my last day of pop. last night was my last day of pop. So I think it was like a rum and Coke was my last Coke. And that was it. And I said, I'm just going to stop. And nobody's forcing me to do this or buy this crap.
Yeah.
And I can say crap on the air, I think, pretty well in context.
Again.
As long as Ollie's not here.
That's right.
Is there, just make the list so I can just look and I'll be like, don't say those words.
We were going to make a list of words that are close to the words you can't say.
Okay. So then it's like a guessing game. And I'm really bad with those. So I might just say it out loud and blurt it. But anyways, here we are. So it's been over a month. January 19th is when I started. That was my first day of no pop, no junk, nothing.
Right.
And I mean nothing. Because honestly, and I've had this conversation with myself a few times, is who would know? Who would know?
That's right.
But then I'm cheating myself.
Yeah.
You know? And I've seen results. Like I was 310 pounds, 306, I think, like sort of fluctuating there in that neighborhood. It's where I lived. In Fat Boy neighborhood. That's where we hung out, right down the block.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that neighborhood.
There's lots of buses.
It's so comfortable.
Lots of buses, but no bike trails. No bike trails in the Fat Boy neighborhood.
None.
But so now, now I'm sitting at under 280 pounds.
Well done.
I've already lost more than
Wow.
26 pounds on this
Good for you,
system,
man.
and I'm not doing physical activity.
This system.
But this is it, and that's what it is. To me, it's very foreign to me because, especially when you come into a place like this where you go to a restaurant and there's pop, big pop. I haven't been to the theater yet. I do want to see the movie here. I'm not going to say which one because I don't want to plug them. But there's a very, very a kids movie that's based on a popular kids toy that was very popular. It's a sequel.
Yes.
And so I want to watch it while I'm here this week before Dead North.
Yeah.
Another plug for Dead North.
There you go.
I'm just the plug guy.
That's right.
I'm just
You're
like
plugging it up.
wild plugs. That's just what happens,
All
right?
right.
Pluggy does. So anyways, that's it. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about it. A lot of people come up to me and they say, "Oh, are those fries on your diet? Is that part of your diet? Can you eat that?" And
And then you tell them to shut up and mind their own business.
and that's exactly what it was. I was kind of hangry too.
Lord.
I was
I
kind of
thought you were
hangry
trying to
too.
lose weight. It's like, shut up.
Do you know how much of a challenge it is for me to not drink pop and stuff like this? And I've already eliminated that.
Yeah.
And then some of my friends, and they're probably listening right now, they're very, very adamant on, vitamin water and Gatorade. It's still just as bad as pop. And I'm like, but I'm not drinking 10 of them a day.
Yeah, that's right.
If I drink 1 or 2 Gatorade a week, that is very much displaced from the 40 pop I was drinking in its place.
Yes, it is.
And I can already feel the difference. Yeah, well, math is math, right?
Yeah.
And so I can already feel the difference in my body, and I can see it happening now.
Good.
And it's one of those, I think it was one of those memes where it said, a year from now, you'll wish you started today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so here I am.
Absolutely.
And I did base this around WrestleMania in that my goal initially was my next root beer is going to be at WrestleMania in a collector's cup. But now I'm looking at like, does it even have to be though? No, it doesn't have to be at all.
No, it could just be a regular cup.
That's right.
It doesn't have to be a collector's cup.
You guys are awesome. I
They
love
could
that.
just be full of vodka.
They could just be vodka. Well, that's like the Chris Jericho drink. The Yeah Boy is just vodka and water, kind of like a Husky Lakes.
Vodka water, absolutely.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Husky Lace, So, but that's it. I'm having a good time. I'm living a better life. I have the elliptical at home. I've got DDP yoga. I'm trying to get into this program of exercise.
Yeah.
My wife love her for that. She's the driving force behind it because she's the one that's actually like helped me along this. We're helping each other along in this weight transformation, this lifestyle change is what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's not something short term. It's not something I'm like, oh man, I want John Cena to see me in that 1X shirt, so I better get fit into a 1X t-shirt pretty snugly before April 7th.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm going to try, right? But I think 2X is going to be my field house because I started wearing 3X shirts and they're a little bit too wide on me. Like I'm not that wide set.
I got you.
So you kind of like, you feel good in a way because you're like, oh, are you losing weight? No, I just bought bigger. It's like, are you losing weight? No, my beard is just getting thicker.
That's right. Yeah.
But now I'm conflicted because for my whole life, I never had a chin. I had to imagine where my chin was. My jawline was just hidden.
Yeah.
But now that I'm actually starting to lose this weight, I wonder, because I kind of pull the beard back. I'm like, if I shave my beard, there it is. Yeah. Oh, egads.
I have a chin.
I have a chin.
Standing alone.
You'll all have chins.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca.